Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 84 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone, brought to you by Solozo. Today, I'm joined, as always, with Chris Gramlich. What's up, man? How are you?
Good. Glad it's Friday. Looking forward to the weekend.
It is, and it's also the Royals are back in action. We had a little party yesterday, got the win, so it's fun to have baseball back in action. As always, blast. Yeah, so today we're going to have a little fun here. You and I did a little experiment. We went ahead and we ordered a gig off of Fiverr. We wanted to see, is this something that you and I probably haven't done in a long time, just sort of reaching out for gigs where we're looking for product research ideas. So we just decided to test it out, order a couple gigs off Fiverr for product research and see what we got back. And we got something back.
Yeah, I mean, that was about all we got back is something. So what we did, we went to Fiverr. We typed in product research for Amazon. Mm-hmm. We hired a gig on here to do product research for us, to find us a product, right? Mm-hmm. It didn't take long. We ordered it on the 30th of March, and we didn't give any stipulation. We didn't give any criteria or anything. We just wanted them to find something that would be worth sourcing. Mm-hmm. So this is the danger of doing that. You get back, if you don't know what you're looking for, especially new sellers, you could get something that you think is good and you'll be a bad experience. So the bad product ideas. So we got something back on the 2nd today and kind of want to just go over what we got back. So we got 2 products back.
Yeah. Before you go into all that, Chris, I think this is the reason why we wanted to do this test. We wanted to see sort of what we would get back. So if someone who's just starting today, if they're going through this process right now where they're trying to get help on the product research, they might be getting something like this back and they might think it is an attractive option. And I think we're going to go through all the reasons why these are 2 products you probably would not want to launch.
Well, this cost us $40 to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Took a couple days to get something back. But this is to show this is a super important step. Product research is something you really want to make sure you focus on, have criteria, do a lot of it. Make sure it's something you really want to go after. If you just did this product, you get your feet wet and you learn the process. But by the time you source this product and get it on Amazon, that'll be 6 months from now. It'll be completely saturated. Mm-hmm. And it is already saturated.
These two are definitely already saturated. And there's no telling how many people have ordered this gig and if he's sending the same products to them or not. That's the other danger is this could be done. So this is just sort of a cautionary tale. We've talked about this in past episodes of the criteria we do when we do product research and how we're looking for these. But let's talk about what we got back. So we got back 2 spreadsheets with 2 products. Why don't you talk about the first one, Chris?
First one we got back, it's a CSV file. And the first one we got back, the search term is Poppit, Popit. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's simply just a piece of rubber that has little pop bubbles that you can just pop it and move back and forth. It's like a fidgety tool, right? Is that right, Dustin?
That's exactly right. And they're wildly popular. It's basically a never-ending bubble wrap thing. You could keep popping it over and over and over again. But if you take one look, if you type that in on Amazon and you take a look at the competitiveness of that product and the price of that product, this goes against almost every single criteria that we would ever say. Some of these are $6, $7.
Well, let's look at it here. I'll pull up the screen and let's just kind of talk about why we wouldn't do this. Things to look for. So Poppit, first of all, is very, very generic. It's just, pop it. That's the term. So, the competition is on here. Let me share my screen. And for those of you watch or listening on the podcast, it'd be worth going over to YouTube and checking out this video. So let's just break it down a little bit while we got some time. Okay, so pop it. Again, it's these little tools or these little plastic things rubber things. You just pop these little bubbles, and they come in different shapes, different colors, but they're popular right now. And so first thing I see, Dustin, is the low price point. Like these things are super cheap.
Yep.
$10, $15.
There's a whole lot more that are cheaper than that too.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got. I saw some that were $5, $6, $7. I mean, there's a $7 one right there. The higher priced ones are like bigger multi-packs. And you can see there's a bunch of different shapes and colors, but you can see as you scroll, you see the same ones over and over and over again. And I
can see why this guy picked it already, because there is a lot of low reviews on here. Like there is 14, 1, the 175, 95. I mean, the top seller on the word pop it has 67. But they're selling a 3-pack.
Right. Now you do have one that's a little further over that's got 653 reviews.
So they're good. They're probably super cheap to source, probably less than a couple bucks. So, I mean, if you got the capital, I don't know if I'd still get into it. It would still be something I would be cautious on. But
yeah, there's one way that this potentially would work. Interestingly, I'm not in this product, but this is a niche that I am in with these kind of like sensory type toys. And I have a brand name that's established. That would be one way you could potentially launch into a competitive category like this, is if you already have some traction and some brand awareness in there, and ways to drive traffic like from other product listings in here. But if this is your first product, it's going to be so difficult for you to really succeed on this type of product for your first one. I mean, it's low price point. So you've definitely got direct Chinese factories selling direct on Amazon you're never going to be able to beat their price. You're right. If its price is low, the danger when you have a category like this also, where there's so many sellers competing just on price because there's no other way to compete with a commoditized product like this, that you just see price wars all the time. There's always going to be somebody with a huge coupon, a huge discount, a huge price reduction that your price is never going to be the normal price. There's going to be a ton of people liquidating and doing all kinds of things. So it's, this is
you got to figure out a way to be different. And besides just making different shapes and different colors, I was just sitting there thinking, what if you made like a massive one, like so massive where you jumped from one step to the other? Like it was so big. It was so big, like took up your whole, like a square footage of your driveway, and you just have a bunch of neighbor kids jumping around on it or something.
That would be different. That would
be very different.
Point. That would get you away from all the people that are trying to buy low priced items. You're right. That is ways that you can take this kind of information and turn it into a unique product. I can see you, Kris, out in your driveway with a giant bubble pop.
Like, just a giant, like to keep it separate, you could charge $200 or $250 for one. It'd be, I don't know, 6 feet by 4 feet or whatever it is with dimensions. And you just have a giant thing out there where your kids jump on it or something. I don't know. Just a different idea, but you would be in that price point. You could charge a premium price because I'm not seeing anything that massive. They're all pretty handheld on this one.
You're right. Now, there's a couple other things, cautionary tales about something like this, is these are kind of trendy right now. I mean, these are kind of like fun little toys that people are playing with at the moment. They're popular. The popularity could die overnight. And it's really difficult to jump on trendy products like this. I'm not sure what made this popular, but somebody's out there talking about these that are making them very popular, and that's dangerous. I mean, I've talked about this before on this podcast as well. I personally made this mistake. I sold fidget spinners, and well, I should say I tried to sell fidget spinners. I didn't sell that many, because of these same issues. It was a hot product, and when I jumped in, it basically had died by the time I was ready to go. So, cautionary tale, this product is that the best seller?
Yeah, bestseller in nesting dolls. So something a little tricky there. Yeah, something a little tricky there. But yeah, this seller sourced it around the middle of January, sold a few, started out at $17, had to lower their price to $12.99, and then they lowered the price to $7.99, and then they just raised it to $9.49. So it's
just go to a different product on there. I guarantee you we're going to see the exact same trend. You're going to see, this is what happens in these markets. This is what happens every time is people come in, they think theirs is the best of the bunch. They got the best pictures. They try to set a higher price. And sure enough, they have to keep lowering it and lowering it and lowering it over time to compete. Well, they tried to raise theirs. They were
same deal.
Yep, same deal. They were up high. They had to drop it way down. Looks like they've played around with trying to raise their prices over time, but they were nowhere near that starting price. And you know that starting price that they launched with was what they were making all their calculations on profitability and all of that with. And now it almost looks like they're trying to liquidate now.
I mean, this is $8 for one. Let's just see what the profitability calculator has to say. We're using Helium 10's profitability calculator. So if you get it for $1.60, which that's what Helium 10 is estimating, you're making $1.68 every time you sell one. So
and what are the chances your PPC spend stays under $1?
Yeah, and your advertising, so other costs. Let's say you spend $500 a month on advertising. Yeah, you're losing money pretty quick.
Yeah. So, cautionary tale. Product one that we got from this Fiverr gig is a total bust. I mean, that is just straight up picking a popular product. That's all they did. They sent a popular product, and they did it. Now, product two is of the same vein. Let's say another trendy hot product right now that we got. So what he sent us for the second product that he would recommend sourcing is the Spurtle. If anybody's watched TV in the last month, you've seen 400 commercials as seen on TV commercials for this Spurtle, which is a wooden spatula that supposedly is magic because it fits perfectly on the edges of pans. Shows you how well their commercials are working. I mean, the fact that I even know that is they're working. But here it is. This is the Spurtle. So almost the same thing. Some of these are a little bit higher priced, but you know the price war is coming on these suckers. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's going to be $10 options really soon on the Spurtle, and it's a set. I mean, if you look, they all look the same. Very hard to differentiate. I mean, what are you going to do? They're wooden spoons and spatulas. You know, some are trying to differentiate on the number and the quantity. But
I like what this guy did. So we're looking at it. He's got the original tools, but then he's also thrown in like some tongs, some type of like noodle catcher thing.
Spaghetti
brush. Yeah. But he's added more tools than just the original 4 or 5 that you're seeing on TV.
Yeah. But again, I mean, how many months until there's 12 listings that are those same products?
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what happens. Everybody's jumping in.
There it is.
Yeah. Again, they're showing something. But okay, the almost entirety of this traffic, I would assume right now, coming to Amazon, who's even looking up the word Spurtle right now, is driven from those as seen on TV ads. What happens when that stops being advertised and they stop selling that? I mean, is that traffic going to drop a ton? Most likely, I would think. And so you could be setting yourself up in a super competitive niche and then ending up, you know, where traffic dies for this type of product. Yeah, these are two ultra competitive products. This is exactly what we would say not to do on product launches is these types of products.
I mean, I can't get excited about a Spurtle, whatever it is. Like I can't get excited about it. I can't like it's all just wood utensils. Now, if you got an existing brand and you're already in the kitchen niche, then yeah, you should have definitely added this already to your brand. But if you're just trying to start out, I would stay clear of this. So this, we're gonna do a series where Dustin and I are gonna do some product research, show you what we do, and pick a product and test it out. We don't know if it's going to work or not. We're just going to do it just to kind of do it. But this was a good test. Like going to Fiverr, just ordering a gig for somebody else to do product research, and not if you don't know what you're looking for, you would think, oh, these are great 2 products, and go with it. But I think what we're trying to harp on here is that product research is super important, and you got to make sure you do it right.
Well, I want to talk about that a little bit more, Kris, because I want to talk about what the costs we think would be to actually launch this type of a product. Well, let's go through that in a second. But before we do, I'm glad that you teased our new project that we're going to be working on here. Really excited about it. You mentioned it. We're going to do a full YouTube series where we are filming the entire process. We're fully transparent, where we are going to go through everything from opening up an Amazon account to sourcing a product to ordering it, listings,
logistics,
everything. And we're going to film the whole part of it. So if anybody's got a cool name for this project, we haven't named it yet, but anybody out there who thinks it's a great name, let us know, because we want to really make it pop, and we're excited about it. But we're like, well, let's just see what other people out there are doing with product research. Let's see what a guy on Fiverr would say. So that being said, why in number form would this be a bad product unless you've got deep pockets? So let's just go with the basics. What do we think this would cost to source one of these? Right now we're talking about the Spurtle. Okay. So, I mean, if they're selling for $20 something on Amazon, you can guess they're probably sourcing it for like $6 or more, Yeah. Typically that's a good rule of thumb is 30% product cost, 30% profit, and 30% Amazon fees. That's rough, but you can typically guess what the sourcing is by taking a third of the price. Third of the retail price, but so let's say it is $6. Okay, I mean, you're going to have to order 1,000 of these suckers, so that's $6,000 right there for the product to get 1,000 of them. Now, because of the competitiveness of this campaign, of this product, I mean, how many do you think you'd have to give away on certain keywords to even try to rank on page 1?
Oh, you'd have to give away a lot. Let's just see. Let's pull up Helium 10 here, which is a tool we like to use. We could just check it out. Like, what's their CPR method? And for that's like their estimation on how many you need to give away to rank a product. To rank a product on there. So let's just see here. Volume. Spurtle set gets 22,000 searches a month. You would have to give away 376 units over an 8-day period. Okay. That's just an estimate. So I would, let's just say 500.
Yeah. So there goes half of your inventory right there out for free. Okay. So now you're out. Now you've got 500 units left. You're ranked on page 1. Now, you're going to have to, in order to keep that, you're going to have to be running ads, a lot of ads, because you got to maintain that ranking. And you're competing against a lot of other people that are as well. Here's the other problem with getting in a niche like this is how many people at the same time are doing ranking campaigns. When you do a ranking campaign for your product, you don't really care about profitability. So you're okay with expensive clicks. Well, if 15 other people selling the same product are doing that at all times, there's never cheap cost per clicks for these products. It's always going to be expensive. So to maintain that, you're talking about, I mean, a couple grand a month in ad spend for sure, minimum. I mean, it's going to take a long time to make this profitable. Now, if you do, it could be sitting pretty, but that's the limitations. That's where when Kris and I are looking at products, popularity, that's great. That's one thing, but how easy it is to get into that niche and sell and rank is a completely different one. I was looking at this one earlier that you're looking at now. This might be the actual one that's as seen on TV, which is another problem. It's because this is the product that everyone's seeing on TV and they're typing in as seen on TV, etc. So it's tricky. Now, what Kris is doing right now is he's taking a look at the negative reviews because maybe there's a way to make a product that addresses these issues. It looks like they stink.
Yeah, it looks like they stink when you get them. Smells like poo is what someone says.
Terrible odor. Okay, that's actually interesting.
Terrible odor.
If that's the case, if you're able to make the one Spurtle that's odor free, because for sure, what are the chances that this person?
So I bet I know where it came from. I bet it's from this handle being dipped or something, because that handle's dipped in some type of paint. It looks like on these. So I bet they just smell like strong, like pesticide smell is what I saw one of them say.
Could be the type of wood.
Yeah. So that would be a big turnoff. The smell.
Yeah, but what if you did launch one of these and you had the only one that said odor free in the title?
Yeah,
that could be a differentiator. I mean, if we looked around at all of them, and if we saw something like that similar, still tough to get in that niche. I would say it's still tough to rank, but that's your way to do it. If you're out there and you're just ordering another Spurtle to throw up here, I think that's you're in for a long haul of not profiting for a long time on this kind of a product.
No one is the size too small.
Interesting.
So yeah, good. It's always good to look at the reviews, especially the negative ones when you do product research. Figure it out.
And so this is the kind of stuff Kris and I are going to really dive into when we're actually picking the product that we are going to launch. We're going to spend a lot of time looking through different products, looking through, how we can make them better, et cetera. So that'll be a really, really fun project. We're really excited to start that. But this was just a fun little experiment. Let's see what happens if we order a Fiverr gig. Apparently, we're not going to be able to skip this step.
So we liked it so much, we went and ordered another one. So we'll do another episode where we talk about the other ones that we get back. I kind of hope we get the same products. It'd be great.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of that. But yeah, so cautionary tale, if you're in product research mode right now, take it very seriously. It's probably not the best idea to outsource that to someone who's not going to be the one spending their own money on launching this product. You want to make sure that you really take your time. Don't get into a super competitive niche. But that was interesting. That was really fun just to see what we would get. I'm not sure that was worth our $40.
No chance. No chance. I was worth $40. That was a $5 gig, if anything.
Yeah, and that one had a ton of reviews. I mean, that was a pretty popular gig on there. So that's surprising. I would have thought I would have got something a little better, but
yeah.
Hey, all right. Well, that is it for today. Everybody, if you're listening out there and you are excited about our new product launch that we're gonna video the entire process, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Celozo YouTube channel. That's where we're going to go live and actually walk through this whole process and document it. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed to that so that you're notified when we do go live. We're also going to go live on our Facebook, on the Celozo's Facebook page. So like the Celozo page, and also turn on notifications. On Facebook, you can turn on notifications so that when we do go live, we'll just pop up into the corner of your phone so that you can see us right when we go live. So make sure you do that. If you're listening on the podcast or if you're not listening on the podcast, either way, make sure you go find our podcast on every podcast platform out there, and subscribe to our podcast so that you can listen to us while you're driving down the road to work. Anyway, that's it for today. That was a lot of fun, Kris, and we'll be back at this again on Monday. Have a great day, everybody.